Faithful gathered again in Latrobe, Pennsylvania last night. And where Trump supporters are, we also find our friends, the Good Liars, asking the hard questions. This time, they found the crowd in lockstep with the former president and spreading vile conspiracy theories about the attack on the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
They always use the same thing. You know, let's blame the MAGA supporters, but we'll cause the chaos. And then it's the same thing, same game plan.
Do you think the police will put out like a comprehensive kind of statement about what happened, though?
Hell no. Well, no, they're paid off probably too out there, you know, so no.
Okay. Do you back the blue?
I do. The honest ones, you know, yes, but some of them have been bought off, I do believe, by the Democrat left.
Joined now by the Good Liars, DeBrom Stiefler and Jason Selvig. Welcome, guys. DeBrom, I got to say, it's actually pretty upsetting. I mean, there's a lot of things that are upsetting about many of these conspiracy theories throughout the country in a Trump era and post-Trump era. That one is particularly so, considering this individual, this 82-year-old man, was hospitalized. He was in the ICU. He was attacked with a hammer in his own home in the middle of the night. And yet here we are a week later, and the conspiracy theories are already spreading like wildfire at a Trump rally.
Yeah, I feel like conspiracy theories started spreading within like the hour that the news broke. It was one after the other, and it doesn't matter how many of them are kind of disproven. I think it's just the degradation of facts. And then at the end of the day, people would rather believe what they want to believe. And they're just looking for, quote unquote, information to back that up. And, you know, people who would say they're all for law and order and backing the blue, and that all goes out the window.
Right. Like they back the blue, but only the ones they feel as if are trustworthy and who are not, quote unquote, as they put it, bought off by the Democrats. Jason, talk to me about kind of this mind-spinning conversation. I'm going to play it a little bit before we talk more about it. With this one woman, I believe, who said she was at the Stop the Steal rally on January 6th and talked about, of course, how she felt as if, I guess, Antifa was there storming the Capitol. It's a storyline that we have heard over and over again. Let's listen to that, and then we'll talk.
Wouldn't we find out that the people that were arrested were Antifa? They've all said they were Trump supporters, the people that were arrested.
That's what they say.
But so you're upset that the people that are in jail who maybe are Antifa are still in jail?
No, I think the ones that were arrested that were because they were there are the ones that should be released, and the Antifa guys can stay in there.
So, but how come that we haven't found out that any of people that identify as Antifa are in jail? They all seem to be Trump supporters.
It's all cover up. It's all cover up. I'm sorry. I can't say for sure who's who. Okay, and what side they were on, but I'm telling you that it was all set up.
Now, that is a fact-driven position from that lady. Again, I was at the steps of the Capitol. I know you guys were at the Capitol that day. It wasn't Antifa. Everybody knows that. Those are the facts on the ground. That is the reality of the situation. You got to give it to the woman. She really dug in, but then also had to kind of say, well, it was all a cover-up at the very end as you kind of pressed her on it. But this is like something that you hear over and over again. I wonder when you talk to these folks, Jason, what's their sourcing? Do they say what they're looking at, what they're reading, what they're watching? Do they tell you?
Yes, they do. And a lot of them say that they do their own research. And it always feels like the do your own research crowd are kind of the least informed. And some of the people I talked to, I asked if they, you know, when they say they did their own research, does that mean that they were looking up newspaper articles or academic reports or something like that? And the answer is no. It's mostly Telegram. It's Truth Social, where I guess you go to find truth. But you get kind of these head-spinning conspiracy theories that if you think about it for a couple minutes, they don't make sense. How come if the Antifa were the ones storming the Capitol, how come none of them are in jail right now? How come there hasn't been any report of these Antifa members as the ones that caused this whole thing? And basically, they're saying that things go so deep that you couldn't possibly imagine. And it really is.
And that you couldn't possibly make sense of, it seems, because even as she's talking to you, you can see her kind of work through it and say, well, I know this doesn't really make sense. So I don't really know, but it was a cover-up.
Yes, exactly. And of course, they're dressed as Trump supporters. The Antifa, they bought the Trump hats and the Trump flags and decided to beat up the police after Donald Trump told everyone to walk down to the Capitol. It's just like the facts are right in front of you, but you choose not to accept them.
It's astounding. Things just aren't changing. 2 years in, people still think the exact same thing. Devram, I know you also had a conversation about the economy, about gas prices, and one of these people's explanation on why gas prices have gone up throughout the country. Let's watch that.
He seems to be very happy to raise the price of gas and to get gas to go up. It's almost as though he's gleeful about it, and he wants to do everything he can. And
you think Biden is gleeful about the inflation, the gas prices, and everything?
The gas prices, yes. To force everyone into the new Green Deal so that by 2035 they can have go all electric.
But it wouldn't make a lot of sense, right? If he was going to want gas prices to go up and everything, this could affect the chances in the midterms he has to maintain control.
I don't think he cares. I think it's part of a bigger plan.
I mean, that in and of itself is astounding because, I mean, one of the biggest issues that the Democrats have when it comes to messaging is on the economy, and it's gas prices. So why, in fact, would the president increase, by the way, does not have power to increase the gas prices? It's not like President Biden is sitting there in the Oval Office like, hey, Exxon, the one on I-95, you got to tick that one up to $5.25.
Like he's got a dial in the Oval Office, and he's just cranking it up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Right before the election, yes. Perfect.
What other theories did you hear on the economy, Devram, when you were out there?
You know, everyone is upset about it. It seems like it's their number one issue because they'd rather not talk about, you know, democracy being under threat. But you know, that was kind of the only person who said, I think they're doing it on purpose. They would say, you know, he's inept and that's why the economy is spinning out of control. But this woman was convinced that it was all part of a bigger plan. That seems to be the theme, that, you know, we can't explain this, but it's all part of a big conspiracy. And as Jason was alluding to, if you get on Telegram and look around enough, then you'll find people who agree with you. And that seems to be, you know, the bar that you have to get over to get one of these conspiracy theories out to people.
We don't know, except, of course, that the president has that dial in the Oval Office that he just turned. I'm just going to ratchet these up.
And apparently for his benefit, apparently he loves it. Right before the midterms, crank it up as high as it can go. And we can't explain why, but it goes deeper than any of us know.